Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am wearing my Cast of a Generation hoodie. This is Miles Dobson's merch. Miles plays Nick on The Next Step, and we have this thing on his Twitch channel where he names all of his Twitch titles are actor of a generation. So the people that are his followers and subscribers, like myself, we are the cast of a generation. I'm going to leave the link to his Twitch and the merch store in my description down below, so go check it out. I have also bought some laptop stickers. Well, they're just stickers, but I'm going to put them on my laptop. And they're only $3. I don't know what that converts to in the UK, but like there's a complete price range. So there's literally something for everybody. He hasn't paid me to like speak about this or anything. I just want to support him. So go check it out. See if there's anything that you like. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking on board a request that I had from one of my subscribers left in my Instagram. Yes, they DM'd me on Instagram. They were like, you should rank all of the Stacy Carpenter auditions and decide who actually should have won. And I thought that was such a good idea because I've been to a few dance competitions myself, and I've always wanted to be on a judging panel of a dance competition. So what I have done, I have watched all the Stacy Carpenter scholarship auditions. They're available on YouTube, and I've basically made notes on every single one. I've considered what a judging panel would actually be looking for, what Stacy herself would be looking for, what the dancers were instructed to do, what they did do, and I've decided who I think would have actually won the Stacy Carpenter scholarship, because of course it was Summer who won. It was revealed in season 6 episode 1.
You'll recognize Summer. She has multiple awards.
It's so exciting to see Summer in Studio A because she's an incredible dancer. She's won the Stacy Carpenter scholarship.
I have basically ranked them and said who I think was least likely to get it to the person who I think should have got it. So I'm going to work my way up the list and tell you my thoughts. Oh, I should also mention, this isn't just literally who danced the best wins. I'm taking on board multiple different factors. So for example, what Stacy asked them to do.
I want technique, I want flash, but more than anything else, I want to see you tell a story.
What they gave, whether it was audition material or whether they were just dancing for no reason, their stage presence, their audition like competitiveness. This video took ages to do and I really enjoyed it. I felt like I was a judge on the panel. So at the bottom of my list, who I think had the weakest audition of the people that we saw, I have put Kingston. And I've put Kingston here because even though he did really impressive tricks and he got really high in his leaps and his jumps, I feel like the audition he gave was just trick after trick after trick. There wasn't many transition movements in it. He was very straight-faced. He didn't really connect with the judges at all. And I feel like when they're watching, they're just going to be like, oh, okay, another great dancer. He was told to dance about determination, and I didn't see no determination from him. All I saw was him doing trick after trick after trick. If he wanted to show determination, he could have showed his actual story like he says that he does, but I don't really think that he did. He could have been putting a camera down, pretending in front of him, and then dancing freestyle, and then going into like the more balletic classical movements, then doing a bit of contemporary, a bit more hip hop, and then fusing them all together to really show who Kingston is now and his personal growth and development and determination. Because Kingston didn't start being a classical dancer and finish being a classical dancer, you know? I feel like Kingston just missed the mark with what Stacy was asking him to do. Next we have Davis, because I've put her performance stayed very much on one level and I didn't see much connection. Davis was instructed to dance about connection, and she says that connection is all about home and stuff like that. But I didn't see that from her. I just saw Davis dancing her best and smiling. If I was Stacy Carpenter or the judges, I would have been like, okay, we have a good dancer here, but we're going to see good dancers all day. We want to see something more. We want to see your personality come through. And we want to see you interpret the brief, but I didn't see Davis do this. I did think her performance was more fluid than Kingston's though, and she had more stage presence, which is why she's above him. Next we have Noah, because I feel like Noah's performance was better than everybody's beneath him. So Noah moved confidently and he had a lot of power in his movements. At multiple times in the dance, he was mimicking musical instruments, and although that might have been a hint and foreshadowing the piano dance that they do at the regionals final, it didn't show leadership, and I just don't think that Noah fit the brief at all. He also did this really long turn sequence at the end, and though it was good, how does that show leadership? I just saw Noah dancing his best. He was just another good dancer. Instead of what he did, I would have just liked to see him rising from the ashes and kind of showing his journey from the next step, because I'm pretty sure he says that, like he started at the next step, and if he got this, then it would give him the chance to dance somewhere different and stuff. So even though Noah showed his technique and I guess flashed with some of the tricks that he was doing, it lacked fluidity and structure for me and proper performance skills, and he obviously didn't match the brief. But quite fittingly, above Noah is Henry. And although Henry danced very, very well, I think he was very strong in the choreography that he performed. He didn't connect with the judges, and he was dancing about confidence, but he looked down a lot. And I feel like if you were trying to do confidence, you'd do like moves like this, and you'd really just kind of put a character on, because she was looking for something like that. So pretend that you have loads of confidence in you, that you're in a dance battle and you iron up the judges, you could do some pointing and stuff, because they're not asking you to just dance, oh, try and be confident while you're dancing. They're saying, dance confidence for me, show me your confident side. I just don't feel like Henry did that. I will say though, his energy throughout was maintained. It never really dropped. He was intense with his movements, so that is good. And ultimately, I think he outdanced Noah, Kingston and Davis. He had the flash and the hip hop technique. He just didn't tell the story for me. For Henry, I didn't really feel a want from him. I didn't see in his eyes that he really wanted this scholarship. I saw it more as him, he really wanted an opportunity to perform for Stacy Carpenter. It wasn't the best for me in terms of an audition, but it wasn't absolutely awful. Well, no one's was absolutely awful, just people were forgettable. Next we have Jackie. And when I first saw the scholarship auditions, I really liked Jackie's performance. I think she was my favourite because of the moves that she gave us. She showed us things that she hasn't showed us yet and showed us later in season 6. Like the handstand to stand up that she does. I think that's really, really cool. I've put Jackie higher than Noah and everyone beneath them as well, because I think that Jackie turned up and was ready to audition. She has a very competitive streak in her. She wanted to win the scholarship.
But I'm not going to get second place. I don't like dancing the emotion jealousy, because jealousy is a sign of weakness. And I don't want any of the dancers knowing that I have any weaknesses. I don't care who I'm competing against, I'm going to win.
However, I haven't put her any higher because I don't feel like she made the connection with Stacy Carpenter. She didn't really look at the judges much when she was performing, and she was instructed to dance about jealousy, but I didn't see any jealousy from her. And the reason that she probably didn't show this was because she interprets jealousy as a weakness, and she doesn't want to dance with any weaknesses, I'm sure she says. So I don't think I can say she didn't interpret the brief at all, because I think she did, just not as expected. I just think she could have acknowledged the fact that it was jealousy a little bit more, because she only really spoke about Davis, but you could blame Stacy for this because that's pretty much all she asked her about. I think that her performance developed well. She started good and it ended well, and it had a nice natural flow to it. It didn't just run out of energy at the end because she'd been dancing so much. She naturally toned it down as it went on and stuff. But yeah, I just didn't see jealousy from her. If she'd been looking over her shoulder a little bit more, or looking a bit more angsty and frustrated, that would have been great and just shown emotion, but I didn't see anything from Jackie. But like I said, she's above the people below her because I think she brought more audition material to the piece. She was more intense than, say, Noah was. Noah was just kind of performing and being like, yeah, I'm Noah. Hi, I'll try my best. Jackie was like, I'm going to try my best, I'm going to win this, but she didn't achieve it well. That's what I mean. I think in terms of technique and flash, Jackie and Henry were both pretty equal, but Jackie at least acknowledged the brief by actively not doing it. That puts her above Henry for me, who I don't feel like showed confidence at all, other than just dancing confidently, and obviously I've already spoken about why that wasn't enough. You can probably tell by now that the people towards the bottom of this list are the people that didn't really interpret the brief, because Stacy said that was the most important thing to her. Next on the list is somebody who surprised me when I was doing these rankings and I was moving him up so high. We have Finn. Now, when I first saw Finn's audition for the scholarship, I remember I didn't like him. I don't know if I ever did a reaction or anything to that or aired my opinions, but I just didn't like Finn. I thought it was annoying. I didn't think he was funny.
182, Finn.
Good luck.
She called your number and your name.
Oh yeah, I'm Finn.
What? Is he with you?
No.
He didn't really give me anything impressive, and we've seen in season 6, which followed the off season, which was the scholarship, that Finn can do impressive things, but he didn't do any of it in the audition. And if you're going to an audition, you gotta bring your best. I just don't feel like after Finn's performance he'd be out of breath or thinking, yeah, I really gave my best and my all to that performance, because he didn't. We saw barely anything from him. So in terms of like who the best dancer was at the audition, he'd be near the bottom, probably for me, in my opinion. However, I don't remember what Stacy Carpenter asked Finn to do, but I know that he told his own story about a dancer that becomes like a professional or something like that.
My story is about a simple guy who has great hair, amazing blue eyes, and woke up one morning to find out that he was a hip-hop superstar.
So Finn stuck to the brief, he did what he was asked to do, and he did it well because you could see the story that he was kind of telling. And also you could tell that he had a positive effect on Stacey. She was enjoying him, she was laughing at him, she found him funny. And if she's choosing someone to give her name to and her scholarship, I think Finn would have a lot more chance of getting it than, say, Kingston, who was forgettable because he just did these tricks and he was just another good dancer. Finn had personality and he made a lasting impact on her, which is why he's above them, because I think Finn would have had more chance at getting the Stacy Carpenter scholarship than everyone beneath him. However, Stacy did say she was looking for technique, and I don't feel like Finn even showed a little bit of hip-hop technique really, so that's why he's not any higher. But I do feel like he had the flash in terms of entertainment value and showing his personality. See, I put a lot of thought into these. I have then put Ozzy, which also surprised me actually, but I did like Ozzy's audition because I feel like Ozzy brought personality to his moves. I feel like Ozzy was very charismatic, he was very true to himself. He was definitely flashy and entertaining and achieved the brief of showing himself at his happiest, but I feel like he definitely lacked in the technique area. It was more just freestyle and Ozzy's personal technique that he showed, and I feel like Stacey would be looking for a bit more than that. I do think you need to still bring your best even if you are interpreting something, or at least give a glimpse of the stuff you can do if you're doing mostly just grooves and stuff, which Ozzy does do. Okay, so next above Ozzy I have put Summer. So she didn't win, not in my opinion. I don't think Summer should have won the Stacy Carpenter scholarship, and here are the reasons why. Originally, I was going to put Summer as my winner as well, and it would have kind of been like a plot twist, like Summer should have won all along. But when I've analysed it in terms of achieving the brief that Stacey sets, developing the rapport, dancing your best but also just not dancing for the sake of it, having good facials, energy, using the space well, emoting, being charismatic and stuff, Summer didn't win. Now I feel like Summer had good energy and passion when she was dancing and in her movements. She also did really complex things, like she does the switch leap, I think that's what it's called, maybe not, the split leg switch leap. I like that. I think that's one of my favourite moves that Summer does. I think she only does it in season 6 though, so whether she's lost the ability to do it I don't know, but I would have liked to see it in season 7 as well. I think Summer had great musicality and her moves really responded to the lyrics that were being said. She looked very natural and it looked easy for her, which is why she's so high up. I don't think Stacey would have any issues with Summer being a great dancer. However, I just mentioned the switch leap. She did it twice and I feel like this would let her down, because if you're in an audition and you start to repeat the same moves, the judges are going to be like, are they running out of moves to do? Are they kind of getting reliant? Are they overconfident? Do they know that I've just seen this? They want to see something fresh from everybody, and if you're repeating the same moves over and over, it's kind of going to like have them thinking maybe this person isn't scholarship material because they're not quite there yet, they're running out of things to do. So I think that would have hindered her a little. It would have hindered Linda. And not only that move, but a lot of the routine seemed to be repeated or was just at least predictable. Personally, I didn't really see hope, and at the beginning I just saw Trix and Summer dancing her best, similar to how Davis danced, and overall it just didn't wow me, even though her musicality and general dance ability I thought was really, really good. I don't think the song really said hope to me either. I just think a slower, more emotive solo with moments of like longing and stillness and looking up at the sky and just showing enlightenment moments would have suited the brief better. Like, yeah, maybe she might not have been able to throw one of her moves in there because it wouldn't have fit the theme, but Stacey would have appreciated that more because you stuck to the theme instead. But like I said, she showed her personality, she developed a connection and a rapport with the judges, she presented herself well, which all worked in her favour and is why she's above everybody else. I also think that she outdanced most of the people below her because it wasn't just trick after trick after trick, it was greatly transitioned, she had a mixture of different things in there. Yeah, it just didn't show hope for me, and this was supposed to be the main intention of doing the solo. In 4th place we have Kenzie. I feel like Kenzie's audition had good energy and a range in movements. However, I feel like she smiled a little bit too much. I just would have liked to see more of a range in expression, and I think that would have let her down in terms of getting the scholarship, because Stacy would want to see personality come through and not just a stage face. You could say that that could be the reason it lets Lily down, but I feel like Lily's stage face is very much Lily's personality at that point. Kenzie's tricks were all clean though, and I could see the structure in the performance. It started very strong, ended at a good ending position. It wasn't just like the music cut off and she had to finish up a pose. You could tell she knew what she was doing, basically. It was confidence coming through. The dance itself, though, she says that she does it about being a people person, and it does have a very friendly vibe to me. I think when she does like the jumps and she opens her arms and she's happy, it is friendly, but it's quite average to me. I'd be like appreciative of the fact that she has interpreted it well. However, it's nothing new. Honestly though, I think it was the song, so whether Stacy chose the song or Kenzie chose the song, or whether it was a completely random one done at that time, that could have affected it, but I just don't think the song fitted the theme of the dance or Kenzie's style in particular.
That's right, we got it figured out. Wow, wow. Don't need nothing.
But I do think she showed her technique well with her tricks, had the flash of the tricks, and she followed the brief, so she had a good audition. In third place, Lily. Now, Lily was instructed to dance about humility, and she didn't dance about humility. I think I said earlier how I think that judges would be looking for something more than just a dancer. So they don't just want to see your best tricks. They want to see you as a person come through. They want to see your charisma naturally. They want to see your individuality and things like that. And I feel like Lily gave her individuality because no one had danced like Lily before her. And like I said, she interpreted the brief that was given to her. She took it on board. She knew what she had to dance about because she says it in her speech. She says how humility is good and all, but if you've got talent, you wouldn't hide it under a bushel or something like that.
Humility is good and all, but when you have talent, you want to show it. You wouldn't hide your light under a bushel.
So Stacy would know, yes, this girl has been listening, but she has a mind of her own, which is good. She's still respectful. She also compliments Stacy, which is good. She gets her into her books.
I hope that one day, when I'm as great as you, I could have my own scholarship and I can support and inspire the next generation of dancers.
Seriously?
Thank you.
So I think comparing Lily to everyone beneath her, Lily would be most likely to get the scholarship because she played to her strengths. Lily also had great energy, facials, and she used the space very well. She didn't just stay in the middle of the room, she used all of it. She travelled nicely. Her moves had good transition. She had a mixture of different things in there. It wasn't just all tricks all at once. And yeah, I just feel like Lily would be most likely to get it out of all the people that I've said so far because she interpreted the brief. Even if it wasn't as expected, she connected with the judges, like I said, and Stacy. She had great facials, energy, trick, and of course she had the flash that Stacy wanted to see. So, vying for second and first place, we have Amy and Piper, our two besties.
It could be Amy, it could be me.
In second place, we have Piper. I feel like Piper is such an underrated dancer, really. I feel like she could really bring it if she needs to bring it. So Piper dances about embarrassment, and you can tell when you watch carefully and really pay attention that the moves she does, she kind of goes into them and then pulls away, and she attacks them and then retreats from them the same way that you would if you were embarrassed. I like the bit where she does the turns and then goes down to the ground, so it's kind of like your head's all in a mess and then you kind of come to realise what's happening. I feel like Piper interpreted it very, very well. Piper had a lot of expressive movements as well as her tricks and fancier moves, and her story linked with the emotion. I also think the fact that Piper didn't just whack everything in there that she could possibly do was a good thing and worked in her favour because she kind of alluded to the fact that she could do things. Like, for example, she didn't whack in her best turn. She didn't do any turns till the second, but she did the one where she holds her foot, so it's kind of like showing Stacey, I can do this, but for the purpose of this audition I'm dancing this way, so it makes her intriguing, and that way Stacey would want to work with her more and be like, hey, do you know what, I want to see more of Piper. I feel like there's like a little bit left to deal with there. She's like rough around the edges, which would make her more likely to pick her. However, the reason she's second is the fact that at the beginning of the audition, she asks Piper if she's feeling uncomfortable, and Piper kind of like shrugs it off, and the way that she does it kind of makes her look like she's annoyed with Stacey, not just annoyed at herself. And the audition starts from the moment that you walk in that room. They're going to be keeping their eyes on you for how you're sitting. Are you polite? Do you have manners and things like that? Because those things all matter. However, because Piper then later redeems herself by explaining the story, and she obviously shows that she has been in an embarrassed position before, overall she shows that she is a very sensitive person. I think Stacy would then interpret that as, maybe Piper was uncomfortable, but she didn't want to actually tell me she was uncomfortable, which is why she then tells us to dance about embarrassment, because she wants her to dive deeper into those specific emotions. So I think Stacy saw a lot of potential in Piper and wanted to see more from her. So Piper showed her technical ability, danced her instructed emotion, told a story, expressed her true self, showed her personality, had flashy moves with the skilled things she included, and overall had a very fluid, natural solo.
Pipes. It was so good.
Thank you.
I am so ready for this audition. I really want to be front and center at the next step, and if I win this, it'll prove that that's where I belong.
And Amy is indeed my winner. Amy had a very structured performance where I saw her emotion, I saw her doing her best moves, I saw her having intensity and energy, her movements were strong, she had musicality. She also included moves that we haven't really seen Amy do before, which I liked. The same way that I liked it about Jackie, I liked it about Amy. She emoted well. I feel like Amy's solo had a clear structure of beginning, middle and end. She had good fluidity, energy, a mixture of different transition moves as well as tricks. And also you could tell that she knew where the judges were. She was focused on them, she directed her actions towards them, and that really works in your favor in an audition. She also showed that she had good musicality with the lyrics that were on, I think because it was elevators, something like going up, she did her arm up at the same time. It just worked well, and you could tell she was, I don't know, it was just a good audition. Originally, I had put Amy second place because I felt like the second half of her solo was a little bit tired compared to this beginning of it. I feel like she put everything in the beginning and kind of left everything out of the second part. But because her dance is about the initial feeling of love, I think it actually makes sense that it starts to settle over time in its pace and excitement as that initial butterfly feeling starts to settle as well. Overall, the solo had like everything in it that I was looking for in an audition. It was very, very strong. She showed her technical ability in multiple styles, had flash with the tricks and intensity that she had, achieved the brief set while showing her personality and individuality. She did everything she was supposed to while still dancing a strong solo, which is why she is my winner of the Stacy Carpenter Scholarship. Even though obviously it fit the plot better for Summer to win because of all the drama that happens in season 6. If you agree with me, let me know down below. If you don't agree, let me know down below. Let me know who you just think should have won in general. Maybe it was Summer, because Summer originally was going to be my pick to win it again. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it. I like diving into things like this and assessing who I think should have won. I really felt like a judge on the judging panel. I'm going to leave the link down below to Miles's merch store if you want to go and check out this hoodie, and I'll see you next week, guys. Bye!